Hello everyone, welcome to class. Today, here we have a question that says the volume of a cube is increasing at the rate of 3.5 centimeter cube per second. Find the change of the size of the base when its length is 6 cm. Okay, so how did we come about this solution? Now, the volume of the cube is given by L cube, where the L is the length. Now, we are all told that the rate of change of the volume, which is the change in V over the change in T, is 3.5 centimeter cube per second. Alright, now let's find the change of the size of the base when its length is 6 cm. Now, knowing that the length is 6 cm. So, how do you come about this? Now, V is equal to L cube. The change in V over the change in L is equal to 3L squared. We will differentiate this. Now, knowing this, that the change in V over the change in T is equal to the change in V over the change in L times the change in L over the change in T. Right? And we're looking for the change in the length. Right? That is the size, which is when we make change the L, so that the formula we have change the L over change the T becomes change in V over change in T times change in L over change in V. That is when we divide both sides by change in V over change in L. This is what it turns out to become. Now, which means that the change in L over the change in T becomes change in V over change in T times change in L over change in V. Now, notice the change in V over the change in T is given as 3.5, which is something as 3.5 times the change in L over the change in V, which is given as 1 over 3L squared, because change in V over change in L is 3L squared, then change in L over change in V becomes 1 over 3L squared. Now, this will now give us 3.5 is something like 7 over 2 times 1 over 3 times the length is 6 cm, which is 6 squared. When we do the division, 7 over 2 times 1 over 3 times 36, which is 7 over 216. And when we divide 7 over 216, we have 0.0324. Now, this is centimeter per second. That becomes the change in the length. Thank you.